Hey friendly faces, I'm back with this week's video, and as promised we are doing the heart shape cake. I'm going to show you how to cut the heart out of round cake layers, and no baking hard cake layers or anything like that. It's so easy, and we're going to do the decoration as well. So right now we are drawing a line right in the middle and cutting off the pieces from one, let's say, point to the other, because those two pieces are going to go right on top. So I'm doing all three layers, as this is a 3-layer cake, and putting them aside. So easy. See, in the middle we put a little frosting just so that our cake will stick and doesn't slide off. We're starting with the one piece, the bigger piece, and you put it at the bottom more of the cake, so the pointy bits is at the bottom, and then those that you cut off, you just place them on the rounding there, making sure they stick. Now we do our little border and wall where we get to put the filling inside of that little wall. I like to keep there a little, just a small layer of frosting before I put the filling in. You can use any filling you like. We are using caramel in this one. Now here's a little close-up for you. The second layer goes on top, and then just a small little border of frosting there, just to keep that pieces of that we need to stick, just pressing them a little in. Okay, another border like the previous layer, doing exactly the same, just going around there. Perfect. Our filling is in. Now it's our last layer that we press on top, and as per normal, this cake is going to travel, so we need our dowels to keep it together. I am using bubble tea straws that I am pressing in at each corner and at the bottom, cutting them off, pressing them a little inside so they don't pop off should the cake, just settle in a bit. Give a crumb coat. I'm using my piping bag to help me fill up those sides, because those presty and those silly crumbs can come out quite easily, to be honest. So using a piping bag to pipe around your cake first, that helps me so much. All right, so now I'm just slowly going around the cake, giving it a little border. Remember, this doesn't have to be perfect. And then I put my cake in the fridge to settle up for about 10 to 15 minutes, just until that frosting is hard. Now using green frosting, and I'm doing exactly the same again. My cake has hardened up a bit, and we are going to pipe the top there, giving it a little frosting and all around the cake, just as we did with the crumb coat. You're just filling up the cake now with color, making it even, because that's the presentable piece that we want. So here's a little tip from my side to get that even layer of frosting. I like to use both of my spatulas to fill in. Take it from the one spatula and just fill those caps in that needs to be filled up. And then just to get that frosting smooth, I like to dip my spatula in boiling water, or I boiled water, put it in one of my flasks or coffee mugs, and then just dipped my spatula in it. And when I work with it, I get that really smooth surface. Now for the heart cake, you want to emphasize that little top piece there to make sure it looks like a heart, and then just bring in the sides to the middle. Remember, that piece doesn't have to be perfect, just even, because we are going to put a layer of edible paper there. Now you don't have to use the edible paper, but she wanted to print a message, and I just put that at the bottom. You can use fondant, you can use press out those little words or write it with hand. I like to just use edible paper. It looks pretty. Now you need to do the first layer just to cover up those sides, and then when you are done, we are going to pipe another layer of stars on that, because remember, this is a burn cake, so you want your wafer paper that we used to burn out to just be a little bit higher than being right on top. So I just had to measure it out a bit to make sure it's right. And then we're going to just pipe another pretty border right onto that stars to cover up the sides. Just to end it off and make it a little pretty. Just don't stop when you're halfway there. All right, it's time to put a little prettiness around the cake. You can use any kind of pattern, you can use any kind of nozzle. The idea with these cakes are just to give that old vintage look, and it covers up all of those nasty borders that you kind of want to hide and don't tell anyone about. Okay, so I started with the leaf nozzle, piping it right in the middle, right around, but I was absolutely not happy. And now here's a little awesome trick with a chilled cake. Now you can put your cake back and forth in the freezer as much as you like, but with chilled cakes, it's so much easier to get that little piping frosting off. As you can see on my face, I did not like the way it looked. So I just took my spatula and scraped that off, went back with my warm water there, and just slowly but surely just even that frosting out again, so we can start with something different. I use exactly the same nozzle, just a different pattern. You have to just get your angle right with these kind of patterns. Something I've learned that I didn't do in this cake is when you start at the bottom and go to the right side of the heart, when you do the second one, don't follow the heart right around. Start again at the top and then work your way to that pointy side. It just looks so much better. And remember, you can do whatever decoration you want. I needed to do these disco balls. 70-year-old that likes to party, so why not do disco balls? And I really loved the way it looked out. I would have loved to see what it looked like once the message burnt away, but hey, we couldn't get a hold of the lady. Something I really struggle with is these little foil decoration. I think it's called foil leaf foils or something. Ugh, I suck at that. But hey, finish off your cake with a lot of glitter. It always brings it together for me. And there you go. How easy was it? Well, yeah, even Cobus thought it was a nice one and was happy when I was done. There you go. If you have any questions, let me know below. See